Hi. so I'm not I'm not super concerned if people Hi there. I'm should be in bed. I realize that. And I'm going to go to bed soon, so this is going to be short. It's 12:40. I'm going to try to be in bed by 1:05. I couldn't sleep. I'm angry. I'm feeling anger. I never feel anger. Hardly ever. I'm not an angry person. So I'm not going to read the comments. It's just going to be a rant. So I lied. I reneged on my earlier tweet that I wouldn't Periscope tonight because I was supposed to be in bed, but guess what? I am not. Anyways, okay. So, angry that I can't watch. It's all irrational anger. I want to watch Mustafida's bar routine from the Qualies, and I want to watch. I watched Ali Raisman's floor routine. It was good. It was just it's what she always does. And then I read on Reddit. I was bad. I've been bad today. Been bad tonight. I'm not going to bed, and I went on Reddit. But I read that Bob had, some people feel that Bob, the drag queen, had some really, was very rude in Belfast or the UK. And then people have I was reading through the comments. Listen, this is an uninformed rant because I have not read all the comments. I don't like to do that anymore because it's just a waste of my time. But I appreciate Reddit as a forum for discussion of Drag Race, but I have no place there because you're discussing me. So I put my 2 cents in. I'll probably delete it. It doesn't matter. But I can't mingle with you guys in a way. I'm not a part of. I'm not one of you. I can't be. I can talk about. I can go on the gymnastics subreddit if there even is one. I don't know because I'm not a gymnast competing. But since I am competing on Drag Race, I can't be an active member of that community. Anyways. So apparently it seems like Bob the Drag Queen had a bad night or a couple of bad nights in the UK. Let me tell you something about the UK and let me tell you something about traveling a lot. It's extraordinarily exhausting and what we are under so much pressure to squeeze every dollar out of this experience because we are told again and again and again by each other, by ourselves, by our management, and from the producers and everybody else involved in the community that it is not going to last forever and that you need to take advantage of it. Makes financial sense, absolutely. And you want to take every opportunity. I have never canceled a gig. Ever. I have had gigs rescheduled for conflicts that were beyond my control, such as shooting All Stars 2, or whatever the case may be, but I've never called in sick to work, ever. I was reminded tonight of one time when I called in sick when I worked at a bank, because my wisdom teeth needed to come out, and I woke up in excruciating pain, and I couldn't go to work, and I called, and I had an emergency dental appointment. When the next time I got to work, my manager, Deb, said to me, honey, we don't call out sick here. It's just you, me, and Tracy. Her name was really Tracy. We can't really call out sick here. And I didn't have balls back then. They were little seeds, mother. Hadn't yet sprouted. I didn't have balls back then, but what I would have said to Deb tonight, and I got in one of those wormhole coulda, shoulda, woulda revenge fantasies in my mind, I would have said, okay, Deb, I appreciate your sentiment. And I just want to let you know that that is unreasonable and that you are operating a bad business here. That's a reflection of your bad business, that you can't allow one of your employees to take a sick day. If that's the case, then you need to employ mutants who have somehow acquired a genetic mutation which never allows them to get sick. You understand where I'm going here. So Bob is probably, I'm going to give Bob the benefit of the doubt here as a Drag Race fan, as a person who loves gossip about Drag Race girls, because I'm in the community. Mother, I'm eating pizza again. So yeah, Pearl got choked a lot for this, and I'm not, there was a lot of discussion about Pearl and her not showing up to gigs or whatever. I don't even know the facts of that, but certainly gave her a bone. Certainly did drag her through the mud as well. So I don't know. The UK is hot as fuck. I love the UK. I love Ireland. I love Ireland. I've had some of the best shows. I had the best show of my whole life. I'm not going to say that. The top 10, one of the top 10 best shows of my entire life was in Glasgow, Scotland. The crowd was nuts. The crowd was drunk as hell. And I felt like fucking Beyonce. You know what else that crowd was? Or that venue was? Hot as fuck. Hot as fuck. And I'm the sweatiest woman in show business. And you don't believe me? Oh. How do you like them apples? Good Will Hunting reference, mother. Are you proud of me? Sweatiest woman in show business. That's not on drugs. You put me on drugs and drag, girl, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Can't show up to the gig. Too hot. So Bob is exhausted. I don't know. I know her. I got to know her over the season 8 tour. I know how much she's working. She's exhausted. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a bad day at work? I'll wait. Yes, you have. So, here's the thing. When we have bad days at work, there are consequences. Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying like that person is wrong for posting on Facebook that or wherever that maybe you should have manners and not your, I don't know what he said. I don't know. Maybe it should be manners and whatever that should come first, not your purse. No tea, no shade. Ooh, I'm white. Sorry, it's not about whiteness. That's in my mind. It's not about whiteness or blackness. Although, I would throw a bone out there and say that perhaps the drag race community at large is maybe more likely to give a white girl a bone, but that's not the issue here. We're not going to talk about that. That could be at play. I'm not saying that. I would probably say that to my friends, and I would talk about that to other girls. Case in point. If we want to talk about how white girls from Drag Race and black girls from Drag Race are treated, let's talk about this. Jasmine Masters, Acid Betty. Two polarizing figures in the Drag Race community. Jasmine Masters was on 3 episodes of Drag Race. What was her downfall? She walked in hysterical. She walked in, she was bubbly, excited, positive. I mean, infectious. Geeked out over Kennedy. Just sincerely geeked out over Kennedy. She had another episode, and then 3rd episode was her demise, Shakespeare. She had a meltdown, a complete and total meltdown that I was on her team. I was there. It was awful. But guess what? The entire fucking team had a meltdown except me. Me and Candy were the only ones that didn't melt down. Violet sucked. Pearl was sucked. But how did they paint her? They painted her adorable. And I'm not saying this is the fault of the producers. It just so happened that she was allowed to be portrayed in an adorable fuck-up way. And it was adorable. It truly was. Jasmine fucked up and it wasn't adorable. And then she goes on a rant on the main stage that was unfortunate. Acid Betty. Cunt. Total cunt. Total cunt the whole season. How many episodes did she last? Maybe 5? More than Jasmine. I'm not sure how many. I've met Acid Betty in real life. Our interaction was wonderful. She was cool with me and she was funny and we got along great. That was at the season 8 reunion. It was very brief. But Acid Betty was a consistent equal opportunity cunt to everybody in that show. Cunt. And then this is the kicker. This is the kicker. She had the audacity to come for Trixie's makeup in Untucked and steal that moment away from Kim. It's not that she came for Trixie's makeup. I would expect that from any, ignorant pageant girl. Acid Betty's not an ignorant pageant girl. She's a club kid from the 90s with a bizarre, out-of-this-world aesthetic. She's a fringe. She's a freak. She's one of us. Me and Trixie. I don't look like a freak, but girl, you know I'm a freak. Trixie's a freak. That invalidated her whole legacy as far as Drag Race is concerned. I'm not talking about her as a person. I'm talking about on the show. And I'm talking about the public's reaction to these characters on the show and how their race plays into it. So, you have Acid Betty, consistent total cunt. Never lovable, ever. And then goes on this rant against Trixie. And then when she goes home, gone too soon. Jasmine Masters, you're a horse-faced, no talent, N-word, 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 and you should die. That's what Jasmine Masters had to put up with. And listen, she doesn't need me to come to her defense, and besides, it's very 2000 late to do that because it was season 7. But I could not get this out of my head just now when I was thinking about how is the difference played out between the likability, which translates into dollar signs. It's not just a popularity contest. That popularity contest translates into dollar signs. That's why I have a career, and fucking Jasmine Masters doesn't. She has a career, but not anywhere near as mine. We both came, she's more experienced than me. And listen, and I'm not saying we should feel bad for Jasmine. I don't feel bad for Jasmine. I love her. I love her. She is so hysterical. Yes, she's problematic as fuck. Her Wash the Pussy video made me laugh as a character. Because I know my sister's a fucking forensic pathologist. I know that the pH environment of a woman's vagina is a delicate situation, honey, and there is no man in this earth other than a gynecologist, and even then, better a female one, to tell women what to do with their pussies. God damn it. But that is neither here nor there. The fact is that there was I would submit, and you can drag me all you want for this, but I would submit there is a significant racial component to the way that Jasmine and Acid were both treated during the show, on the show, and more specifically after the elimination. Now, I don't know, and so as in the case of Bob, we're going back. My opinion as a colleague and as a friend is to give the bitch a break. Listen. And not that there aren't consequences. If you're rude, it doesn't matter the reasons why you're rude. If you don't let the crowd know that this is why I'm rude or whatever, or if you don't make any attempt to talk about your behavior, then there are consequences. And regardless, there will be consequences. If I go to a meet and greet and I tell people, and if I'm disinterested and I don't make any attempt to be friendly or personable or anything, i.e. do my job, which is the job at a meet and greet, is to meet and greet, not to say, I don't want to be here, get out of my face. There are consequences. Then people will go on Twitter and say, Katya's not actually that nice, she's an asshole. So what do? I fake it until it's real. Sometimes. Most of the time, I'm lucky. I want to be there. I mean, I'd probably say like 90% of the time. That's just me. That's atypical. Most people don't have the wherewithal to sit in a line or stand in heels and meet 300 people at 2 a.m. That is a weird thing. It's unnatural. I've acclimated to it because I like it. It exhausts me. It exhausts me severely. The amount of psychic energy when I left DragCon the first time, I felt like I was dead, like I was a husk. When I got back into my hotel and I was fully allowed to just decompress and no responsibility, I felt like I was going to die. And I'm saying, you know what? Yeah, Bob is well compensated. I'm well compensated. We're both way more compensated than the average drag queen. But the average drag queen does not have to do these meet and greets. Okay? And listen, Bob doesn't need me to come to her defense. That's not what I'm doing. The thing is, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt with this, because I know her and I like her a lot. But I'm just saying, give the bitch a break. She's literally breaking her back because I know what her work ethic is like. She had a couple of bad nights in the sweltering motherfucking heat of a UK nightclub with people who, no offense to UK people, who were probably extraordinarily drunk and therefore at greater risk of being extraordinarily annoying. And to go up to you and tell you shit like, hey, I didn't really like you on the show. Your hair sucks. Or how about this? Yeah, my friend was here, and so I got in line. I don't even know you or whatever, but I'll take a picture with you. Nice to meet you too, fuckface. Get out of my face. So that's what we do. She is a queen for the people. Because you know what? That's what she said, and I believe her. And I don't know exactly what that means to her, and I don't know what that fucking journey looks like until she's on that journey right now. That sounds so cheesy, but I need to go to bed. I'm so wired. It just works me up. I'm angry. I'm angry because I relate to Bob right now. But I don't have a meet and greet, thank God, because I'm pissing blood. But I'm working on videos every day. We're doing Total Recall, and it's taking up every single day. It's taking up all of my energy. I'm not addicted to anxiety anymore. It's just imprecise. It's a version of that. But, I'm going to go to bed. And it's 12:54, so I'm going to stick to my timeline. But give her a fucking chance, And I know that, I may not, it just bugs me. That's all. And I want to reiterate, that's not the whole story. There are consequences to those actions, regardless if, maybe whatever the reasons are. It could be that she's tired. It could be that she's really a bitch on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. It could be that she is whatever reasons are. And I don't deny that people have the right to go on social media and talk about it, because that's what they do. You talk about how lovely they were. They do that to me all the time, and I appreciate that. But I'm really good at my job. I'm really, really good at my job. I'm not the best performer. Not the best performer. Absolutely not. But I take those meet and greets so fucking seriously because I love the fact that people will wait in a line to meet me. And that's something that's informed my work ethic. But you know what I will slip? When I'm tired, my wig will look like shit on stage. And I'll wear some shitty costume because I don't care, I'm too tired to care. That's where my slip shows, on the stage. But guess what? It's the meet and greet where people really pay attention, okay? So when a person slips up and is not that rude is a little bit rude in the meet and greet, they could turn it out on stage, which every report has her doing, by the way, which is the drag queen's #1 job pre-Drag Race. That's me. This whole meet and greet thing is new, okay? We are not used to it. It is a learning curve. I happen to be very, my transmission happened to work very well, and I got up the hill of that curve quick. But that is not the case for most people. Many drag queens that I've met from the show do not like doing meet and greets. It's not that is they struggle with it, because how are you going to meet 150 people all in one and know what to give each one? Especially when you have outside factors like fucking promoters who are trying to who overbooked it. They're hungry for the money. That's because your booking fee was maybe too much, or they're just greedy. Could be both. And they're trying to zip you by and make that quick buck with no regard to the feelings of the crowd or yours. I constantly come into butt heads with promoters who won't let me do my thing at a meet and greet. Because why? The club's closing. They oversold it. XYZ. People waited for me. Some people waited for me 3 hours at DragCon. And that's a problem. That's my problem. Because I insisted on spending a little bit of time with, and I'm not bragging, I'm just illustrating a point, one, that I have not figured out a way to entertain the people online. That's my bad. But that those interactions are what people, I didn't look all that great. I had no backdrop girl, but people still waited in line. What did that tell me? That they wanted to meet me. So I took that seriously. And I didn't hear one report anywhere that people were disappointed. Nobody likes waiting in line. That's a disappointment. Ugh. I'm gonna get a clown to keep people. I tried to pass out candy, but the girl, I'm going to get a clown. I'm going to get a couple of Marilyn Monroe impersonators with a bloody nose to just walk around up and down the crowd, the lines, and say, "Have you seen my dead dog?" Hopefully that'll get people thinking about not being in line. Anyways, give the bitch a break. If this becomes a pattern, then yeah, maybe that is more illustrative of her personality, and then she's maybe a bitch. But in the meantime, girl, I don't know. Just think before you write. Just think. Just try to put yourself in that position. Yeah, that's all. I don't know if that made any sense. It could be wrong, but whatever. Have a good night. Bye.